Well, okay. Kansas City
Chiefs are Super
wins
Bowl champions
25-22 in overtime,
in
back-to-back
overtime.
champs.
Second overtime Super Bowl ever
Yeah, in the first, I guess the
was
first
the
overtime with the
28
new
to 3.
rules,
Yes, first overtime
with the
in
postseason
the Super
overtime
Bowl.
rules. I believe it
Yeah,
was the first since that
it was the first
Bills.
playoff game
Yeah,
with
since
these rules.
that Bills Chiefs game. I
Really?
think this is the first overtime postseason
I mean, it didn't
period.
matter in this game.
It didn't matter, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. So, um, the game, it started slow. It started weird because
Yeah,
what was
yeah,
it? It was you had Christian McCaffrey fumbling on the open drive.
yeah,
And it was a promising drive. Like, they're going
yeah.
down the field. I'm like, all right, cool. 49ers are they're Brock ain't backing down. Here we go. Let's let McCaffrey eat. And then he fumbles. And then it goes Kansas City punt, San Fran punt, Kansas City punt. Then San Fran goes up 3-0.
Yep.
Then you have Kansas City coming down and they fumble. Pacheco
Yes.
fumbles the football.
Yeah.
And Travis Kelsey attacks Andy Reid.
Like puts his hands on him.
I mean, puts his hands on him. And okay, I'm going to say it to you like this.
Yeah.
Look, like, I'm not comparing the two coaches because one may be a little more chill, one maybe a little more strict, but Bill is benching you for the rest of the game if you do some shit like that.
You will be cut.
If Gronk came up to Bill Belichick and shoved him and was like, motherfucker, put me
Honestly,
in the
I thought
game.
it would be like that with any coach and any NFL. I feel like if it was any other player on that team but Mahomes or Kelsey, they're getting benched.
Yeah, maybe
Like
you're
if
right.
if fucking McDuffie fucking rolls up on him and shoves Andy Reid, it's game over for him.
I mean, it was wild to see, and like even like we've been gassing up the Kelsey hate ever since the Ravens game, but it was just like, how is he getting away with just the
And it's
most?
getting
Yeah, it's like he's just like, okay. That's the thing. Like, I was personally offended just because, like, I'm a Ravens fan. I'm mad they beat us. He talked shit before and after and during. But then now he's just like, bro might lose a deal or two for pulling some shit like that. Like, he's being
I
a
know.
dick.
I
He
know.
was being a
For no
straight
fucking reason, dude.
dick. So at that point, I'm like, all right, the Chiefs are emotional, but they're lucky because San Fran couldn't get nothing going either. But then big trick play. Brock
Yeah.
Purdy to Juwan Jennings, back to Christian McCaffrey.
Juwan
I'm like, all
Jennings.
right, this is the ball's in the air. I'm like, this is the pick. This ball's getting
Yeah.
intercepted 10,000%.
I thought Debo was the guy that was slinging. I didn't realize they had Juwan in the bag to throw the ball.
Juwan Jennings throwing that
Crazy.
up. Christian McCaffrey obviously catches it, scores. Now at that point, I'm like, all right, it's 10-0. Two things were going through my mind. Juwan Jennings just won Super Bowl MVP because
Yeah.
he's either throwing the same amount or more touchdowns than Brock Purdy has.
Exactly.
Or if Christian McCaffrey would have like run for more, maybe he gets it. But Juwan went on to get a receiving touchdown too. So I was like, all right, he's the second player to ever have a receiving and a passing in the Super Bowl.
The first being
and the first receiver, but he's the first ever receiver.
Receiver, yeah.
Which is
he'll probably be the only receiver.
Which is hard.
A long time.
It's harder. I mean, to me,
in my opinion,
if you think about it, let's be real.
I mean, to throw a touchdown, it's rare that they'll run a play like that in that territory.
Okay, I'll put it to you like this. You both, like Nick Foles and Juwan Jennings, definitely both have to rely on a lot of other things going well.
Yes.
Because like Christian McCaffrey easily could have been tackled, before,
for sure.
Obviously before he
20-yard touchdown.
And Brock Purdy and Nick Foles has to make sure that the trend, or not the transition, but the I'm already in off-season mode. I can't even think of the word I'm looking for, but he's got to make sure everything goes.
And that he plays it well enough to where he doesn't get covered.
Yes, exactly.
Because if you put a DB on him, he's not touching shit.
Yeah, no. So, and you got to think they tried it with Brady the same game, and
he overthrew it.
Yeah. So that's the thing. You got to rely on things. Got to go perfect. But I think obviously, I think it's a little more impressive, and his receiving touchdown was
a great receiver.
Was great too.
And it was at that time it was fucking big.
It was.
And
big.
then they missed or got an extra point blocked.
Okay, so Kansas City What? It was 10-3 at half.
10-3 at half.
So then they kick another field goal. It's
And then
10-6.
Ush.
Usher, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it happened.
What are you gonna do?
It happened. It was there. It was cool. Usher. Shout out to all the moms that enjoyed the show. But Kansas City, so 2 straight field goals is 10-6. But you know what happened after that? San Fran gets the ball. They punt it back to Kansas City. Kansas City is forced to punt. Then the play that I believe lost San Fran the game happened. They muffed the punt.
No.
Well,
the blocker, it hit the fucking blocker's foot. When I watched the play live, I was like, what the fuck is he trying to do grabbing the ball? And then I realized it hit his fucking foot.
As soon as he went to grab it, I was like, it had to bounce. It had to bounce.
Because they're trained to never touch the ball once it hits the ground.
You know, he's Peter, you know, he's yeah. So as soon as, it was, he had good eyes too, because it was close. I mean, it was quick. It was just right off the heel.
I couldn't tell. Yeah, it was right off his heel.
But
what a fucking terrible, there's one place you can't be on the field.
And when I say muff, obviously I don't mean like it was muff, but yeah, it wasn't just like he bobbled it. Like it was he saw that a 49er touched it and he was like, shit, I gotta grab it.
But now you got 4 Chiefs in the area, you can't do shit.
So think about this. So before that muff punt, Mahomes was 17 for 23, had 166 yards and an interception. He opened the second half with an interception, a terrible interception.
There were a bunch of balls in that game that could have been picked.
After the muff,
Purdy had a lot of balls that were batted down too. That were bad.
After that muff, he went 17 for 23, 167, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
Jesus Christ.
That muffed punt changed. I mean, they scored immediately after.
Yeah.
That game changed. I mean, it was, even though it was back and forth and 49ers took the lead after that, it's still, to me, I was like,
it didn't feel like it was their game.
The Chiefs are not losing this game.
Because, I don't know, it felt harder for San Francisco to get something going, especially once they got into, red zone territory. But yeah, it felt tough for them. I think they kicked some of the furthest field goals. There was a shit.
Yeah, I think they broke the record for longest, and then the Chiefs broke it.
Yeah, fucking
same game.
They hit a 50. The Niners hit a 55-yarder, and then Bucker hit a 57-yarder. Then they hit a 53-yarder.
So after that muff punt, they trade field goals back and forth. So even when San Fran was up 19, well, no. San Fran scores a touchdown.
San Fran scores a touchdown. The extra point gets blocked.
Now, Devin, I'm not gonna lie.
Isn't that weird? Isn't that odd?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. I definitely didn't pull this is scripted card, but I'm just sitting here thinking I watched a lot of football. And I know I missed plays. I know I definitely missed extra points. Who doesn't walk away to piss during an extra point? But there couldn't have been more than a handful of blocked extra points.
There's in the history of the sport.
I'm saying this season,
sure. But even after they moved it back to 33.
What are the odds that the
slim.
one time an extra point was blocked was to put the Chiefs only down 3 instead of having to go down the field and score a touchdown? I don't know. I'm being half serious, half real, but I'm not gonna lie, Devin. That half real is really wanting to pull me in. It's really wanting to pull me in.
The only time extra points are missed is when it's the kicker's fault. They push it or pull it or whatever. It's a chip shot. It's a chip shot. So you take less steps and you just kick it high and get it through.
You just broke the record for the longest field goal 40 minutes ago.
Exactly. And now you can't chip a fucking 33-yard fucking field goal.
What are we doing? So 16 to 13, 16-16, 19. Even when it was 19-16, Like Tony Romo's like Tony Romo's like
Tony
Brock
Romo,
Purdy.
number one, him calling the Super Bowl, the most annoying thing.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie.
He's
I
glazing the
switched to
fuck out of the Chiefs
Nickelodeon
the
at one
entire
point.
time. I know, I wanted to,
I
but
had to.
he's fucking glazing the Chiefs the whole time.
I will say I
And
could tell he was
drawing lines all over the fucking field like he's some sort of genius.
he was trying his best. Now I don't hate that. I'm not gonna lie. I might be one of the only people that don't hate because he like. I mean, sometimes he truly like.
No, agreed.
Like it might not be something you didn't know, but it's just something you might not have noticed, and it's just
Sure.
like, huh, well, God,
But he's calling. Like, all right, but he's drawing lines like pre-snap.
See, I'm okay. Lines, take the lines away. I'm thinking more like I want to say it was. I could be wrong. I want to say it was the drive when it was 16-16 and the Niners had the ball. I could be wrong, but there's a play and it's like intense, and they motion someone over and then they motion him back, and Romo's like, oh, they just found out that the Chiefs are in man. They're gonna switch it, and I'm like, oh
they
shit.
They were like,
oh shit.
They saw, who was it? Warner. They saw Warner.
Yeah. So when Romo said that, I'm like, oh shit, are they going to do? And then they switched to the left. I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
So it was
no,
like
he had that. Like he's good at doing that. He's obviously done this. Like this was his job. But I don't know. The yapping the whole fucking game. I don't know. It's not.
no. But
very annoying.
So 16-13, 16-16, 19-16, 19-19. We're going into overtime. Now, Devin, what have you seen the reports on like people trying to say that the Niners didn't know how the rules worked for this overtime game and all these like
it's not possible.
So there's these reports that like apparently like the Chiefs have been rehearsing this for the last 2 weeks. Apparently.
What?
They've been coming out and saying this. Mahomes and Chris Jones came out and said that for the last 2 weeks they've been preparing for an overtime in the Super Bowl, and then the Niners they're coming out and saying like we wanted the ball first, we wanted the score, yada yada. And it's like people are talking about people are basically debating on whether or not San Fran should have took the ball first, what they thought San Fran's mindset was, all that type of shit. And I'm thinking it doesn't matter because it didn't get to the point where the new overtime rules came into effect.
These rules had zero effect.
The 49ers kicked a field goal.
Yeah.
And then they folded. Just completely folded.
And the Chiefs, they let fucking Mahomes convert on what, a 4th and 3?
Yeah.
Like, just the most annoying shit. Yeah. But, no, the overtime rules now in the playoffs are if one team scores a touchdown first, the other team has an opportunity to score a touchdown. The rules have always been if one team kicks a field goal, the other team has a chance to score a touchdown or kick a field goal and tie it. So nothing changed. I mean, maybe you can defer, and then if the Chiefs score a touchdown, then you have to score a touchdown. But you basically are there to score a touchdown no matter what.
So that's the thing, Devin. We're getting overtime. San Fran gets down the field. They kick a field goal.
They had momentum, and then they just get fucking shut.
So I guess some of my problems is San Fran had them.
Yeah.
They were. Let's not talk about that. I mean, we can talk about the fact that 4 years ago they were in a very similar situation.
They were up 14. Oh, was it 10?
Up 10. It was 20-10.
It was up 10 in the fourth quarter.
In the fourth quarter. Now they're up 10 in the second quarter. Let's play this real conservative. It's 10-3. So all right, hear me out. It's 10-3 at halftime. Mahomes opens up with an interception.
Yep.
Mahomes opens up with an interception. 24 of Purdy's 38 attempts came in the second half. Mind you, the first 2 drives in the second half from San Fran, Christian McCaffrey had 0 carries. Then when they wanted to run, half of Christian McCaffrey's second half carries, 6 of his 12 carries, came in the final overtime drive. They completely abandoned the run in the second half.
Well, all they did was they ran the ball a couple times on first down, and then that was it. And then they tried to just...
Devin, how do we not see Kyle Shanahan poorly managing a game coming from 5 miles away.
That is true.
What the?
I mean, he's been the fall guy, I guess, for a lot of these games.
First of all, he's been your fall guy for this entire time we've done this podcast. You always shit on Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
And you know it, and this is more proof.
He was the OC in
28-3.
In 28-3, he was the head coach 4 years ago. He's the head coach currently. Yeah, I
see, but here's
when I saw that the 49ers were up, I felt that, and I don't know. I was rooting for the Niners, so I wasn't on my Shanahan hate, but yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
But when I went back and looked at it, 24 out of Purdy's 38 attempts came in the second half.
Just abandoning the game plan for no reason.
Mahomes threw an interception to start the second half, and then the next 2 drives after that, they did not give McCaffrey a single carry.
Like that's when you run the ball. That's when you use McCaffrey.
That's when you
You're up. When you're winning.
What are we doing here? And they get nothing out of it.
This is what happened in the Ravens game.
Yeah.
The Ravens had a stronghold, or could have had a stronghold on that game, but instead they fucking threw the ball 1,000 times and ran it 5 fucking times with a running back.
But the fact that, because I saw all right, when McCaffrey had 10 carries in the first half, 12 in the second, but 6 of them were in the final drive.
Exactly.
You can't decide. All right, we're gonna go back to bro. When it all matters. Because they could have taken the first 2 drives of the second half and completely just drained Kansas City.
Exactly. The only thing with the overtime, though, like the only benefit they would have had from deferring was, I think when they kicked the field goal, they had a 4th and 4. The Chiefs went for it when they had a 4th and whatever.
They would have went for it. I think they would have went for it.
Well, they wanted to win the game. Like, I'm saying, like, had the Chiefs gone down and kicked the field goal or scored a touchdown, the Niners would be more inclined to.
Oh, I thought you were saying had the Chiefs gotten the ball, they would have punted if they were on a 4th and 4.
No, they would have kicked the field goal.
Oh, okay.
But for the Niners in that situation, it's like, take the points, try to have your defense make a stop.
Yeah, which you would think they would.
Because they had done so the entire game.
But I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not mad. Sure, put whatever blame you want on that 49ers defense, but they did their thing to me.
They did their job.
And they, like, I don't know how many times I have to say this, 24 of Brock Purdy's 38 attempts came in the second half.
Yeah.
They did not give McCaffrey the ball for the first 2 drives of the second half, which I don't know if I have to go back. I don't know if that means he didn't touch the ball till the 4th quarter, rushing wise. But
yeah, rushing wise. Yeah.
I don't know. It was but
McCaffrey's your weapon. I mean, you can get some big plays out of IU. You can get some big plays out of Debo and Kittle, but Debo was running on half a leg at that point.
Well, Debo busted up his shoulder at one point. Debo was on half a leg. Kittle busted up his shoulder at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Greenlaw.
Dre Greenlaw went out.
He tears his Achilles. Did you see it?
No.
It was like he was running on the field like I don't know if it was after a punt or whatever, but it was like, all right, like time to go out there, and his shit just tore.
Fucking hey, dude.
Which and they're making jokes like man, the NFL spies, like they just tore that man's Achilles,
snapped him
real quick. But I guess it's easier to just say it was bound to happen if it was that easy to snap.
Sure.
Which kind of sucks, but yeah. No.
Let me see if I can find a video where you can, because when A-Rod tore his, you can see it snapping.
You could see it possibly, but you could definitely. I mean, they have a sideline shot of him like running away from the camera, and he just goes down, drops to his hands, and it's like, wow. Because I didn't even realize. I didn't even realize he was hurt until I got the report. It just popped.
Yeah.
It just popped.
Yep. Oh no, yeah, you can, if you watch it slow, you can see the calf jiggle, and that's just from the tendon snapping and shooting up his leg. and then he tries to put his foot back down, and it's like a noodle.
But I guess to summarize the rest of the game, Kansas City gets the ball back after San Fran kicks a field goal, 22-19. Yep. They go down the field and they score a touchdown to win. Mahomes, 3-time Super Bowl champ, 3-time Super Bowl MVP.
Yep.
What do we? I mean, what?
Well, he was.
What do we?
He was MVP last year.
What do we? What are we talking about? What do you want to talk about first? Do you want to talk about how you're gonna hate how much we got to hear about the Chiefs dynasty, Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift? Didn't see much of Taylor Swift, which I mean, hey,
no, there was a decent amount.
No, they said they showed it. She was only aired for a total of 54 seconds.
Good.
That's not a lot.
Well, she was up there with Ice Spice and fucking Blake Lively.
I'm not gonna lie. The whole time they're cutting the Ice Spice, and she's just like she really don't have a clue what's going on. She's like, yeah, let's go. Like she don't have a clue what's going on in that game. But
like I don't understand what stake she has in the game. I guess she's Taylor Swift's friend.
I guess she's friends with Taylor Swift, which I mean, cool. Yeah, do your
congrats.
Thing. I don't know. It was just funny. I don't know. It was just funny. All year you see her with like Brittany Mahomes, and then like this game, it's like I remember just being like,
I didn't see Brittany at all.
Is that Ice Spice?
Is
that Ice Spice shaking?
She's hard to miss.
Shaking Jason Kelce's hand.
Yeah.
Jason Kelce walks in. He's hi, Mrs. Spice. Hi.
Mrs. Spice.
Hello. But yeah, no, I don't know what's worse, the Mahomes hype, the Kelce hype. I'll tell you one thing.
In my opinion, I think I view it as like obviously it was scripted.
No, stop. We're having a podcast and a discussion about a game that we are not going to start with.
Obviously, this was one for Taylor Swift. This, I think, this game meant more for Taylor Swift and the Kelce situation. But now that because the Chiefs won, now it's hey, Mahomes is the new GOAT.
All right, so let's have a football discussion. So this reminds me of the first Brady run in New England, his first 3 rings.
I mean, this reminds me in the way that it's the same amount of rings and the same stuff, but it doesn't really remind me of.
No. I'm gonna tell you the big difference. Brady went on to win 3 more. Yeah. Because he wasn't making more and more and more and more every single year.
Yeah.
Because
what I heard on Julian's podcast though, that
yeah, I heard the same bullshit.
But it's I don't know how Brady was taking a pay cut for a reason. If you were gonna pay everybody else less, why not give Brady the max? It's this isn't hey, Brady just wants less money just so that you guys feel better. It's
the narrative was never Brady doesn't make the most on his team. It was he takes a pay cut compared to other quarterbacks.
For the team, but then Edelman's we all got paid.
And the thing is, I mean, maybe this is just me being naive, but I really do believe that they're not going to be able to have that second 3 Super Bowl run with that contract on Mahomes.
I mean, well, we said it when he got the contract that it would be tough to make it back. Losing Tyreek Hill, that was hey, is Mahomes good without Tyreek?
Well, now that is true. Now we also talked about all right, he's gonna do his thing for a minute, but that contract is going to show eventually.
It will show
eventually because of how it increases every year.
But the thing is for that time, that $500 million contract was massive. But compared to the average NFL quarterback salary, it's not that much. Mahomes is down on the list in terms of how much he makes per year.
Well, yeah, but the way it works, but
sure,
I think that's why I think in the future it will impact them. Now, sure.
But for me, the problem I have is like, yes, the Chiefs won. They beat the Bills, they beat the Ravens, and then they beat the 49ers. But they had a completely lackluster season. They beat no good teams convincingly. They lost to bad teams. Yes, they made the playoffs and they won their division and whatever, but like by no means were they the best team in the league at any point this season. They never looked like it since week 1 after they lost to the Lions. And it's like, sure, but I don't know. Everything fell in line and went in their favor.